Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera everyone. My name is Nur HANIS HAZIQAH binti AZRIN and more affectionately known as HANIS. Also today, I will be your tour guide here in Kuala Kangsar. As you can see, we are not alone today since we will be accompanied by our handsome coach captain, Mr. Hayat. Say hi to Mr. Hayat. Be reminded, sir and madam, to write down my ID number for your own convenience. The ID number is, please take out your pen and paper to write down my ID number. The ID number is 23023. I repeat, the ID number is 23023. I ask you to write down my ID number is because it's for your own convenience. If one of you are lost in the city or lost in the town while we are doing our tour, you can refer my ID number to the nearest tourism center in Kuala Kangsar. On behalf of Sakura Tours, I would like to welcome you all to Kuala Kangsar, Perak, Darul Rizwan. The bus ride to your destination will take about 15 minutes. Right now, I would like to take a minute to familiarize you with the area and discuss some brief safety precautions. First, I ask that you remain seated until we reach our destination and that you not eat or drink while on the bus. I promise you are going to enjoy your stay here in Kuala Kangsar, Perak. This town is a beautiful, timeless town where you can relax, sit by the river, enjoy great meal and feel very safe. You can also walk into town and enjoy the fountains or take a moonlit walk along the water. We are going to pulling up to our first ever destination in just a few minutes. Please sit back and enjoy the view of the small town on the left side of the bus as we enter the city. I ask that you remain in your seats until we have come to a complete stop. Please double check and make sure your personal belongings are with you all the time, like your wallets, your money, your phones, your accessories, or else that are really expensive. Please keep it safe to you. On behalf of Sakura Tours, have a wonderful vacation in Kuala Kangsar and I hope to see you later at our first stop, SAYONG. Here is our first stop, SAYONG. We are here in SAYONG, Kuala Kangsar, Perak. Also known as the town that the maker of the LABU SAYONG or the clay LABU SAYONG. The LABU SAYONG itself is without a doubt Malaysia's most well-kept secret. Even within Malaysia, while most Malaysian family are familiar with these ceramics, they have few in their own homes. Like they got a very small size, the medium size, the bigger one, and the extra large LABU SAYONG in their home. The use of this one-of-the-kind and exquisite object has sadly been dwindling with the invention of the plastic and ceramics. LABU means squash or gout in English, while SAYONG is the name of the little town where these water vessels were created. SAYONG village, as you can see here, is around 3 hours from Kuala Lumpur in the state of Perak in Peninsular Malaysia. The location has always been noted for having a very high quality clay, which is a very good clay, likely why the LABU SAYONG are so spectacular and rare. Traditionally, these jars were used to store drinking water because it made of such a porous substance. Don't be surprised if your water level drops on its own. This is especially true. This is very true with when the labu sayong is very new and hasn't been properly soaked with water. Because of its porosity, the labu sayong should never be washed with detergents or cleaning chemicals. Instead, with a simple whisk, you can clean the labu sayong. That's all required. Fill the vase with warm unsweetened wheat tea. Pour some on its exterior surfaces. If a stronger cleaning is what we call it? If a strong cleaning is required, for a few days, the water will retain a slight tea flavor, but it will ultimately go away. Some of the water is absorbed by the clay, which then evaporates on its surface. The water should be stored in the labu sayong. Is very deliciously colder than water stored in the other containers in the same room, like a refrigerator or in the cabinet. So it's also an astonishing idea back when electricity and fridge drinking water were not available back then. This also causes light color labu sayong to be darkened, as well as dull black containers to gleam as if polished. To understand how cool and moist the sides of full labu sayong feel, simply touch them. You can touch them. In comparison to inert plastic, glass, or ceramic containers, the labu sayong appears to be alive. Means alive is a real thing. Labu sayong is a compulsion, and the water, for your information, the water in the labu sayong never turns bad. Hence, a warning is necessary. Labu sayong is one of the kind, attractive, enjoyable to use, and a surefire conversation starter. Many labu sayong are half handmade, which means that most are utilized in the early phases of production. Many of the steps, however, are still carried out by hand. As you can see, around Sayong, Kuala Kangsar, there's a few shop or a few person who offered to give a tourist or a local people to have a labu sayong, produce a labu sayong by their hands. You can have a class, which is they provide a short class within 4 hours to 5 hours per day by booking them first, and you can go to that place to experience how to make a labu sayong by your own bare hands. So it's really interesting if we can go and try to make a labu our own hands. So as you can see, around Kuala Kangsar, there's a place that I can recommend. Like they have here in Bukit Chandan, Kuala Kangsar, and also Sayong. Both of these places have offered the labu sayong maker classes. So you can go there and learn how to make a labu sayong. Basically, labu sayong is mostly made by a family run, like it's a family business carried out by generation by generations, and their operation is at their own backyards or a very small roadside workshops, as they are no huge producer. They only choose the best of what they can find. However, do take note that all labu sayong will have some differences in size, weight, color, and water capacity. We do, they do, I do my best to describe each time as accurately as possible about Labu Sayong, but picture trying to measure the water capacity of a container that drinks some of the water as you fill it. They are Labu Sayong, they are solely meant to be decorative, which is not all Labu Sayong are for uh, keeping a water inside it, but also Labu Sayong you can use as a decorative at your house, uh, around your living room, in your kitchen. You can use Labu Sayong as your uh, decorative equipment. So, um, but all that thing, but the ones we have on Simply Arid all are working water containers. Most of it are working as water container instead of decorative one. So there are no glaze Labu Sayong. There's no such thing as glaze Labu Sayong. After removing the clay containers from the kiln, they are immediately buried in wood chips to obtain the black color. So that's why we can see there's a lot of Labu Sayong with the black color. This burying process does not apply to clay colored Labu Sayong. The Labu Sayong will begin to show its age over time as the minerals that have gone through its pores react with it. There's no need to be anxious about it. Labu Sayong are built to endure a lifetime. Next. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. We had completed our itinerary for the day. I hope you have enjoyed your time with us and learned how to make a Labu Sayong. As for tomorrow, our last day here in Kuala Kangsar, we will return to Kuala Lumpur sadly. Please keep in mind that our bus will be depart at 4 p.m. Hopefully, we will be able to be around the bus 1 hour earlier. That's all from me, ladies and gentlemen. Have a pleasant rest.